you hadn't guessed, I'm out in the bush here. I came out, so I thought I'd do something different. Smoke a pipe in the bush. Yeah, it's pretty peaceful here, we've got a fair bit of rain. Yeah, it's dried out now. There's a little dam just down there. So I've got some Samuel Gawith best around Flake. And I'm just going to fold and stuff a bit of that and then I'll come back. Okay, well, I put some of that flake in there. It's a pretty rough pack, but I haven't really smoked flakes like that, so I thought I'd give it a try. Might be able to see the Australian grass trees here. There's an old eucalypt stump falling down there. I mean, a few other species here. I guess this is Australian dry eucalypt sclerophyll. A pretty common coastal subtropical forest type. This is actually my backyard. My house is like, I don't know, 50 metres that way, maybe a bit further. I'm going to like this. I've only got a small amount of this flake, and at first I thought it had a bit of a floral smell to it, but now it's just a very plain, mature, stoved Virginia smell. I mean, I'm assuming it's all Virginia. And pretty much like all Gawith tobaccos, it comes pretty moist. I've had this sitting around for a while, so it probably has dried out in a snap lock bag, but now we're getting a light. Oh, by the way, I'm smoking a Irwin S Cobb, vintage corncob, pre-toasted, broken in, so it claims. Oh, I like it, it's quite a nice pipe. Have a look at this fellow. There he is, Irwin. He looks rather self-satisfied, if I do say so. But it's not about Irwin, it's about Samuel. I'm getting a very smooth and mild Virginia flavour from this one. It doesn't quite have the sharpness of the American. Well, I mean, Virginia is American, but the Cornell and Deal Virginia is the Yorktown and the Stove Red Virginia Ribbon I've been smoking. Much spicier finish. It's still Virginia, but a bit, maybe not richer, mellower. In a lot of ways this reminds me of an old Australian style of fine cut tobacco, which I guess is much like a flake, but there was it Log Cabin? And there's another one similar, I've forgotten the name of it. But yeah, I mean, back then you'd either I just got an insect in my eye. You'd either roll your tobacco into a cigarette or put it in your pipe or whatever. There wasn't really a distinction between pipe tobaccos and cigarette tobaccos, I guess. But yeah, this is very reminiscent of those tobaccos. I guess they're a similar type. I mean, it's definitely a straight tobacco. There's not much outside of that in the aroma. I'm not even going to look for nuances in the flavour. I'm happy to say a matured, well mellowed Virginia tobacco. Here again, there's a lot of old school Australian tobaccos, very reminiscent. Probably a good thing to take on a hike into the bush with you. It's not offensive. It's got a little bit of spice and bite to it. There's some of that characteristic. I've heard Gawith tobaccos described as salty or savoury, and I am picking that up with this one. There's almost a saltiness on my lips. And I do like that about the Gawith tobaccos, and I imagine, nicotine wise, I mean, this would satisfy most people. It doesn't seem to be overly potent, but I'm guessing that spice in the mouth is the nicotine. Yeah, I guess there's some of that earthy, woody note, that undertone. I still can't put it in a bakery bread category, but I mean it's leaning towards that. It's probably 2 or 3 hours before sunset. It's pretty much, I wouldn't say it's dead still, but it's certainly peaceful out here. Termite mound. It's definitely a slow burner. I mean, this pipe's going to last me a while. I suppose if you're looking for straight down the road, I guess middle of the road Virginia. It's not bright and sharp, but it's not dark and dank either. I guess that's why it's the best brown flake. It sits somewhere right, I guess, in that Goldilocks territory. Yeah, I would smoke this regularly. I was never a big fan of straight Virginias, but I'm starting to see the light. Having sampled a few varieties and a few different sources, they certainly do have an appeal. Well, I can hear something. I think it's my pump running. I mean, to give you some perspective, I mean, this is only a small tree, but it was all logged, felled through here probably, less than 50 years ago. You know what I mean? There's a hobbit hole too. Spend the afternoon expanding my empire. I mean, like you could sleep in there. I wonder if there is anything down there. Let's have it. Alright, here comes some aircraft, so I'm going to keep moving and see what I can see.